Game and Grub.
Hello and welcome to Game and Grub, where we play with our food. That is take 3. I was trying to get the intro right. You know, we've been doing this for a while now. You think I would have it down pat. I don't. With me as always, Jonathan is here with me.
Hi. You don't have to tell them.
I want to give them a sneak peek behind the scenes of the kind of... I mean, look at the studio that we're in right now is plated in silver. It is, there's a fridge full of fancy alcoholic beverages, even though we don't really partake. I don't partake, you don't really partake. But they're there to show that this is a glamorous studio. I'm sitting on a couch bound with fine Corinthian leather, and it's just a very state-of-the-art studio. You'll never see it. I'll never post a picture of the splendor that we record in.
We sign an NDA.
Yeah.
That we're barely allowed to describe where we are.
We have secret CIA handlers that, for some reason, want to fund a podcast that talks about video games and fast food. We're not going to delve too much into that.
Yeah, we don't ask too many questions because we just get to do what we get to do.
Yeah, because we're really good at it.
Yeah.
We're very, very good at it. That much is sure. And because we're so good at it, you should totally hit us up on iTunes and subscribe. Get those subscription numbers
Google
on.
Play Music. We're there.
Or we're everywhere you can listen to podcasts. Subscribe. Leave us a comment. Leave us a rating. I will, if you're listening to this right now, you're probably doing it from either Hammy Cooks or from Hammy Plays. And there's probably a link to the subscription button there. If not, hit us up. We'll link you so that you don't miss an episode.
Yeah, you can subscribe. Take us with you. If you're on a long drive. If you've got, it's not even a short drive, you can listen to us in chunks. We kind of break this podcast into little sections that are about the length of a drive, so you can listen to an episode on your way to a place and on your way back,
or on your lunch break.
Yeah,
how about that?
Yeah, you could find out what the episode's about. You could go to that place, buy that food, and listen to the episode as you eat it.
Also, if you agree with us, if you disagree with us, hit us up on gameandgrubpod at gmail.com. We'd love to hear your comments or concerns, whether you agree with us or not, because so far it's been kind of slim pickings.
A little bit. I've gotten a couple Twitter follows, I think. I think they're
no. I mean as far as the food we've had.
Oh.
At this point, there's very little passion in the food. You think, we say that we do love fast food, but it's hard to tell by the way we're talking about this food because we always pick clunkers. But not today!
We talk about fast food, like the stuff that we eat we don't like, but then we'll talk about other stuff at that place that's really good. But we try their like a new thing. Because sometimes a place will come out with a new... I don't want to say gimmicky, but sometimes it's kind of gimmicky. A new novelty item that you sometimes, like today's item, had me a little confused because I do not associate it with that restaurant. I don't know why I'm keeping it a secret. It's in the title. Yeah. It's literally above this where they're listening.
We had Weinerschnitzel's chili cheese tamales. Because, it's the holiday season. We figured we'd do something very holiday. And if you live in California, if you live in New Mexico, if you live in Texas, if you live in any state where there's a large Latino community, you know that Christmas and tamales are pretty synonymous. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if these chili cheese tamales were only available in Weinerschnitzel locations that were in these areas.
That's an interesting point. They might be.
Because there's also the Mississippi Delta. I know hot tamales are big there, and that's totally American. That has very little to do with actual like Mexican tamales. They're delicious, but I don't know how much tamales are in the national lexicon. Like, how many people are actually familiar with what a tamale is?
I don't know. I'm not super familiar with what a tamale is.
Yes, like we were eating it, and at one point I said, I really like the masa, and you're like, huh? Like you didn't know. That because I'm not even sure if the dough for the tamale is called masa. I don't know if it's a different name once it's cooked, So I might even be wrong in calling it masa, but it was. Well, let's talk about it.
It's like a crust.
Let's talk about these tamales.
Okay,
it's basically a standard pork tamale that you would get from your neighborhood church lady who sells them out of a cooler that usually houses beer.
Yeah, I know a lady who sells them on Facebook. She takes orders and she sells them to her Facebook friends.
No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, you usually have to know somebody.
Yeah, it's they're tough to get your hands, because the first time I ever had tamales, if we're just gonna go on like a tamale story.
No, totally. Let's do that.
I believe there was somebody my dad knew who made tamales. I don't know if it was through work or somewhere that he just hung out.
Sure.
That he would get, like, they were like these cinnamon raisin dessert tamales.
Yeah, they're like dessert tamales. Those are not that bad. And
he would get those, like, and I feel like it was only for a couple years when I was a kid in like December that that we would have, like, he would find those and get those from like whoever it was. It was like you had to find like a wandering salesperson to get the tamales. They're very hard to come by. And then when I was older, in Scouts, in my Scout troop, there was a Scout mom who made tamales, and she's the one who's on Facebook, sells them. We're long out of Scouts now, but she, we're still Facebook friends, and I still see every year now she takes orders. Who wants tamales?
When was your first savory tamale?
Probably high school. I think someone probably brought them in for a potluck.
And what was inside them?
I think it was pork.
Just pork? Okay. Because I will also say, it's hard finding a really good tamale. Some people mess with it. Some people add different things to it. For a while, there were people in my community that would put, like, canned vegetables into them. Trash.
Okay.
A tamale needs to be packed full of delicious, spicy pork.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken's fine. I've had, like, a green chili chicken one. That's delicious. But no potatoes, no carrots, no nonsense. And the tamales at Weinerschnitzel were no nonsense. They were standard pork tamales. If you put a blindfold on me and you said, "Oh, what is this?" I was like, "Oh, this is my mom's tamale."
Oh, wow.
Because it tasted a lot like, and she'll probably hate hearing that.
Your mom probably makes an authentic tamale.
Oh, she does. She's beating out the masa. She's, roasting the pork, and she's making the salsa. And it's like tamales, you usually do it communally because it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of elbow grease, and it takes a lot of time.
Is she subscribed?
I don't want to. She's probably going to write me off of the will if she.
I was going to say, yeah, you're not getting Christmas this year.
Yeah, I'm not going to get that pair. See, we're older now, so we're like more. We're employed and we can buy our own presents for ourselves. But it's so funny because I do look forward to getting socks on Christmas. Because you forget to treat yourself to new socks.
Buying socks is a chore.
Yeah, but
like, if I'm gonna buy clothes, like, I want like a fun clothes.
But if you get new socks, it's great. Yeah. Nothing better than putting on a new pair of socks or underwear for that matter. But we won't talk about that. Let's talk about these delicious tamales. Now, these tamales were standard pork tamales.
I think there's some red pepper in them, red chili pepper.
Yeah, like a red standard chili sauce. Although you really can't tell because it's not like a saucy tamale. It's usually just pork that's covered in that sauce and it kind of soaks it up like a really good pot roast.
Yeah, there were chunks of
pepper. like a flake pepper. Yeah, you can see that. And then they smother it in the chili sauce, not chilies. The Weinerschnitzel. I'm getting chili. See, I would never eat a chili, so that would never be a sentence that comes out of my mouth. Casual dining is garbage. They smothered it in the Weinerschnitzel chili sauce, a little bit of cheese, and then you can also get it with either like a green chili salsa, or what I did, I got it with guacamole and jalapenos, and you just got the standard one.
I just got the typical one, the classic. It was just a chili. It was a tamale. It was a pork tamale, dunked in Weinerschnitzel chili cheese.
And the second I tried it, I was like, okay, this is a win, like immediately. And then when it was gone, I definitely had to wrestle with myself over ordering a second one. Because the one downside I will say about them, they're not very big.
Yeah. They're good, though.
Oh, they're so good. I want one right now. I want one right now.
That I was really skeptical that, the hot dog place is gonna make a tamale.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you like Weinerschnitzel?
Yes.
I love Weinerschnitzel. And it's like Arby's. It's a restaurant that's pretty polarizing. A lot of people don't like. I think people don't like hot dogs in general now. There's a lot of people that just don't like hot dogs. I love them. I love their chili dog.
Did they all suddenly read The Jungle?
Hey, well, I think Uptown Sinclair's always been pretty topical, but I think if you subscribe to the kind of thing in The Jungle, then you're probably not eating any fast food.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that being said, this is a perfect. I hope that this becomes like a season, like a holiday tradition now. Like They just bring
Yeah,
it back
because this is
every
the first
holiday.
time they've ever... This isn't like something they've done before.
They might have, actually. I was never wise to it. If they did.
I feel like I would have been aware if they ever had tamales before.
That's a good point.
Just because I am quite a fan of Weinerschnitzel. There's another, I guess, Arby's and Weinerschnitzel, both places that we enjoy, both places that used to have like a 5 for $5 deal on like their number one item.
Yeah, then they keep, I think, and that's the thing. The one thing I don't like about it is the price. I think by the time it was all said and done was $4 for this tiny thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't very big.
The classic one, I think, was about 50 cents cheaper, but
Yeah,
still.
but still, that's pretty, like, for a tiny one, it would have been nicer with 2. They don't have any sort of, like, combo meal available. You just have to buy them individually.
There should be, like, a combo that comes with 2 tamales and, like, fries.
And fries and a drink. So by the time I was done paying, I clocked in at around $8, which is more than I usually want to pay for fast food.
Wait, and you got the tamale, fries, and a drink. Mm-hmm. I opted for the tamale. I decided to go for the mini corn dog bites.
Delicious.
Because I wanted to check, because Weinerschnitzel is corn dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Corn dog batter is a corn product.
Sure.
So is tamale, what do you call it again?
Masa.
So I wanted to compare the two to make sure that it wasn't just the same.
See, and that they could have easily gone wrong there if they...
Yeah.
Although...
I was really
it very
worried
well
that...
could have been.
I don't know that it wasn't.
Because usually, although masa batter is usually made with corn flour, not corn meal, which is this whole other product. But I don't know if it's it's food for thought, because the masa wasn't yellow. Their corn dog batter is clearly yellow.
Yeah.
They used like a yellow cornmeal, whereas the masa batter was clear. It was white, so they could have used either white corn flour or white cornmeal. But it wasn't. It was super soft, which you usually get out of corn flour, and corn dog batter is pretty soft, but it's a little bit more gritty. Got a little bit more texture to it.
I think there were definitely different products, which I was happy about, and because they're both good, but I don't think that their corn. I don't think it would be like a tamale. I think it would be disappointing to call it a tamale if it was just the spicy pork wrapped in their corn dog batter.
And I gotta say this, I can't wait for Christmas, because at home, I'm going to serve my homemade tamales that my family has with chili cheese sauce, because that's gonna be delicious. It's such a great flavor combination. I'm sad that I never heard about before. But enough of us, going crazy about these tamales. Let's rate it. What are we gonna rate them as?
Oh, let's see.
Why don't we rate them in church ladies?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, because that's usually who you get your tamales from. I'm gonna give my tamales an unprecedented 5 out of 5 church ladies. The guacamole, for fast food guacamole, even if it was great guacamole.
Was it? I should have tried
it was Chipotle. It was Chipotle style. It was like quality guacamole.
Okay, I mean that is unprecedented.
And the jalapenos, a delicious pickly bite at the end. It was so good. Like I said, I almost cried when it was gone. I love Weinerschnitzel's French fries. It was such a great meal. I can't wait to repeat it later on in the season. I'm gonna go back at least a couple more times because it was so good. So it's gotta go 5 out of 5. What are you doing?
I want to knock a point off because, like half a point off, because it's they're small and they were expensive. But I believe earlier in this show, in our show's run, I didn't knock a point off of something because it was like cost effective. So if I'm staying true to myself and cost doesn't take into account of the flavor, and this is definitely something like I would order again. I keep using that as an example of when I'm justifying my rating. Like a lot of some of the foods, like I would
We're not going back to most of what we ordered.
Yeah, I would never get.
We're not getting the gobbler again.
I would never get the gobbler again. I would never get a Reuben from Subway again. I would never get the Farmhouse King again. But the tamales, if they're in season, I will probably get one.
Yeah.
With my order, if I'm gonna get like what I typically get at Weinerschnitzel, which is a couple chili cheese dogs.
Same.
So, I'll go ahead and go for it. 5 church ladies out of 5.
We got 10 church ladies. We got an army
of
tamale makers, and it's going to be a great Christmas because of it.
They're coming at you with their hand carts and their little what's the word for like nephew?
Sobrino. They're
the little army of sobrinos.
Yeah, like... and maybe the good ones will even have like a bucket of like Jarritos you can pluck from.
Yeah,
like a nice delicious orange Jarrito to
quench your thirst as you
to wash it all down with.
Yeah.
Awesome. You know what the great thing about tamales is?
I don't.
You can eat them anywhere, even in the wild.
Oh.
We'll be right back.
Weinerschnitzel has tamales!
And we're back! And we're back way sooner than we could have been, because we were shuffling for our phones, both of us, and we're like, why don't we log into Pocket Camp? Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Yeah.
But we
That
knew
new
if we
game
did that,
came up.
we would be gone for the next half hour, just, doing things.
Yeah, we would go our separate ways. We would start picking fruit and crafting thingamabobs.
Going fishing.
And
Catching bugs.
fishing for those pale chubs.
And that's the thing about Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. If you haven't downloaded it yet, like many freemium games is what they call them, I guess.
Yeah, freemium is the term. I mean, it's a typical mobile game architecture.
It really ebbs and flows. So you play a lot for a short amount of time, and then the game kind of locks out, and it makes you wait for things.
It's not because there's a lot of mobile games out there that do this process, and the really popular ones give you like stamina, and then you use that stamina to do things, and then once your stamina's out, you either pay money to refill it, or you're done until it refills on its own after a certain amount of time. This is more task based, so it's similar to like a Farmville or a Dream Heights. Instead of like a Puzzles and Dragons, or I think Candy Crush works on the stamina level as well.
And to that effect...
Or Pokemon Shuffle.
Yeah. To that effect, it's like the first Animal Crossing game where there's like a real sense of purpose.
Yeah.
Like you feel like you're actually like doing almost like a part-time job sort of thing. Whereas other Animal Crossing games kind of stress, take it easy, have fun.
Yeah.
Go slow. Enjoy the scenery, where there's, because of the time element, because you don't want to waste any precious seconds, you tend to do a lot all at once for 15 minutes, and then you put it down. You come back later, all at once again for 15 minutes, and then you put it down again. And I like that, especially since you and I, we're both have jobs, and we we don't want to be distracted. Right, we're busy. So we do like to take a break every once in a while, to stay sane and not become glazed over with the glare of a computer screen.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't have like a full half hour to find that moon in Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Or to play a match of Splatoon online.
But you could easily go pick some fruit, give, he's not in my town yet, but you can go give Pudge some peaches or whatever fruit he likes. I don't even know if Pudge is in this game. And if he's in other Animal Crossing games,
I don't know.
Eventually he'll pop up, I'm sure.
You could go, buy some rare, strange items from Tommy Nook.
I gotta say, Tommy Nook, slim pickings these last couple
Yeah.
days. There's nothing there. You'd think you would have at least a couple cool items.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like-
also a little disappointed. We're talking about the worst aspects of the game.
Yeah. You got
First, I'm disappointed in the clothes that they've had.
Oh, totally. Although it says, there's a thing that says coming soon.
Oh, for crafting clothes, yeah.
Yeah, for crafting clothes.
But the only way to get new clothing items right now is to...
Get lucky.
Yeah, basically.
You can either, at night is usually when Mabel comes out. Mabel or Sable, I don't know which one. And one of them whichever one sells shirts. She comes out and you can buy 3 different shirts, and literally every single day there was nothing. I finally got one. I got lucky and I got this really kind of ugly looking sweater because it's seasonal.
Yeah.
I'll wear that.
I got a pair of glasses.
Oh.
I'm still wearing my default purple shirt or whatever that came
Okay.
with the character. I got some shoes. But they depending on the day, the different person is selling stuff in the marketplace, which is a very small facet of the game. Spending your bells on cosmetic items. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Yeah. That's what we're talking about today, by the way.
That's what we're talking about. And it's funny, we're kind of muted on it. And it's one of those things that I like it a lot.
I do. No, I sunk a lot of the free time, not free time, but just a lot of the...
Downtime.
Yeah, downtime that I've had, I've filled it with Pocket Camp.
Yeah, and I can't get too excited about it. It is what I want mostly out of an Animal Crossing game.
I think it's probably what I think Animal Crossing always should have been.
Yeah, because it has more, like I said, it has more of a sense of purpose.
And I think you're a much bigger fan of and have a much wider knowledge base of Animal Crossing in general than I do.
Yeah, probably.
Because I mean, I played the one on the GameCube.
I played the hell out of that game. Basically owned my life for 2 years. Like, it was literally go to school, do my homework, come home, play Animal Crossing. That was it.
Wow.
For like a good 2 years.
And then I played the New Leaf a little bit, but not a lot.
I played the heck out of New Leaf as well. And this one feels different. It feels so radically different from other Animal Crossings. And not even in a bad way. I do enjoy it. I just wish at this point there was more to do. And I think by the time this comes out, there might be an update.
There probably will be. I mean, I know for a fact that they usually launch games like this with less features than they plan to have all the way through.
And I'll say this, we're talking a little bit the day after Thanksgiving. No, a few days after Thanksgiving. And Animal Crossing is known for having special things happening on holidays. And, Thanksgiving's a pretty big holiday, and they didn't have anything planned.
That's true.
And I think that was a big missed opportunity.
I don't know that they knew when it was going to come out.
That might have been it too.
They could have not had a Thanksgiving thing prepared.
You think it would be that? You think it would be in the timeline though?
Because it leaked a day early, right? It was on the App Store a day before
it was
scheduled to be released. And I think the release day might have been. They might have been thinking about releasing it like this next week.
And again, if I could underline this again, the first day there were so many server hiccups. There were so many horrible things. Like, it was unstable as heck.
Yeah. So like the first bit that I played, I think I got on before everybody else like found out that it was leaked. So I got through like all of the basic tutorial stuff and collected everything and was basically waiting the. I guess because your trees respawn every 2 hours. Your companion little animal friends, they want new things every like 3 or 4 hours. And so I was, I had the downtime to wait for that to pass before I could go and, level up again if I didn't want to spend money on the game.
Yeah, but even with the downtime, I was still, and the server issues,
yeah,
I was up till 2.
Oh,
the first night because I wasn't able to actually like sit down and play with it the whole day because I was working. But God, it was so like I felt like I was going insane because I could not go to sleep. I had to play this dumb game because right at this point it feels really dumb. I feel dumb playing it.
Yeah.
It's fun though. Like it's
it is. It's a nice. Fun. It's the I don't know what it is about mobile games. They tickle a different part of. Yeah. And it's weird as a person who like plays other video games because mobile games are targeted to a general audience. Like your mom plays mobile games. Your like weird aunt plays mobile games. The weird coworker you have who you don't really talk to, she's constantly sending you like Candy Crush invites on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because she plays mobile games. You know how many people played like Pokemon Go that didn't know anything about Pokemon that I had to explain like what Pokemon was to them, but they still like wanted to play it because it's like a mobile, like it's what they do. They play these mobile games.
Yeah, and I don't. At this point, it's still freshly released. I'm interested to see if it's gonna get as big as Pokemon Go.
I don't think that it will. I don't think that it needs to.
No, I hopefully not.
Pokemon Go is an augmented reality mobile game. It's a lot different than this, which is sort of a. I don't know. There's probably a word that people have come up with to describe the style of game this is. Did you ever play Dream Heights?
No.
In that you made like a hotel floor. Ugh. Like that was what you like did. So you had like a high rise, and the whole thing was like I'm gonna build a mini bar here. Sure. I'm gonna build a thingamabob here, and it took time to do those things. And so that's the same type of thing in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, where you craft items, and it could take 2 minutes. Some of them take like 6 hours.
Yeah. At this point, it is slowly starting to get repetitive. Not that it's slowing me down.
Yeah.
But it still makes me just a little bit annoyed. But people already data mined this game.
Oh, and I haven't even looked at the.
They're already. I mean, they data mined it, but they got some very service level. Like, so we know there's going to be more areas coming. Spoiler alert. Mm-hmm. We know there's going to be a restaurant. One of them was called Restaurant. We know there's going to be different shops coming and different things like that. So I'm excited to see how that shapes out and whether or not that will add a little bit more variety as far as that's concerned, And I hope that some other characters that we are familiar with, like Blathers, like Brewster, like who am I forgetting? Who's the Shampoodle? Is that her name? The one that runs the hairdressing shop. Do you know her name?
You're asking the
I
wrong.
forget. I'm the one that knows a lot about Animal Crossing,
the
but
one
apparently
who
I
doesn't
don't
have a face.
Oh, Blanca.
Yeah.
Blanca.
I know that one.
Yeah, and
who's the dog? KJ
duck.
Cool Dog.
The dog.
The dog.
Oh, the dog. That's KK Slider.
KK Slider.
KJ Cool Dog. That's like what my mom would call it. KJ Cool.
Mario.
Who's the dog with the guitar?
Did you buy him in the game?
No, I haven't bought any of the special things. They're too expensive.
I mean, you could. If I were to do it, I would spend them because it's like what, $10?
Have you spent any money on this game yet?
No,
I did. I got the like introduction special because it was only 99 cents.
Yeah,
and I said that's all I'm gonna buy, and so far, that's true. That's all I bought. We'll see down the road.
You are looking at me like a heroin addict right now. Like. Your eyes are beady. I feel like if I touched you, you'd probably be clammy right now. You're literally touching your veins.
Listen, I'm waiting for another sale. Maybe Cyber Monday will bring another sale and I'll probably buy it. $99. 99 cents is totally doable for what they gave me.
That's the thing. People will get so hung up on mobile game. Like, I don't want to spend any money on it because that'd be a total rip-off. It's a game you got for free.
Yeah.
So you would normally spend... How much did you spend on New Leaf?
$30.
How much did you spend on Animal Crossing on the Wii?
Oh, $50.
Yeah. You spend that much money on an Animal Crossing game. Why wouldn't you spend $10 to...
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got to be careful and watch how much you spend.
Because they do...
it adds up.
It's a troublesome thing about mobile games. Especially because you got kids playing.
Yeah.
The freemium aspect of it is that to do better, to build everything instantly, to do it faster.
And we're adults with, a modicum of self-control. But we'll see. Ask me again in a month when they're impounding my car because I needed to get a sleek chair.
Yeah. Oof.
So
I have the sleek chair.
Yeah. I'll get it one day. So. Again, it's muted right now. I do like the game. What are we going to rate it as?
What do they use to rate campsites? Black Diamond is snowboarding mountains.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to think of if there's a rating scale for actual campsites, but there's not. Because it's a game where you run a campsite.
Sure, but I like that you go to what does the government use to certify?
Well, I mean, what is Animal Crossing if not a game that sort of... originally, that was the whole thing, right? You're smack dab in a town. Here's a mortgage.
Yeah.
I
guess at its core, it's very bureaucratic.
Yeah,
sure.
The whole... And that's the probably my biggest annoyance with the game right now is that you can sell things in your market box to other players. But there's a maximum price that you can sell things for. And that seems very anti-Animal Crossing to me. Because Animal Crossing was always about being exploited by that darn Tom Nook.
Yeah, but I think eventually, any freemium game, there's going to be this, sub-economy online where people are going to start charging money for things. And I don't know if that'll be doable. I know they do that with games like World of Warcraft. I'll say this. There were these exclusive Hello Kitty items that you could only get in England. And 7-Eleven items. And you couldn't get them here. But I went on eBay. And I paid somebody $5 to come to my town and give them to me.
Wow.
So they'll find a way.
Right now, all of the items that you need seem to be accessible to get.
More or less, yeah.
I haven't run into anything that's so rare or doesn't spawn. All the bugs, they spawn exactly as I need them to.
Sure.
I can just reload the area and catch another bug. All the fish appear as I need them to. The only problem thing is the fruit, which takes a little bit of time to regrow, but the fruit all exists. Nobody is asking for a fruit from a tree that I do not have access to. If they were asking for a pineapple and where's the pineapple? There's no pineapple. Like that's where I could see somebody being like, well, if you give me $30 on real money, I can market you a pineapple for 10 bells.
Let's rate this because you deal with fake money. Why don't we rate this in cold hard dollar bills?
Okay.
So, I'm going to give, at this juncture, we know there's updates coming.
Yeah.
We might revisit this. But right now, as of 3 days of it being out, I'm going to give it $3.5. $3.50 out of 5.
All right. I'm going to go $4 out of $5.
Okay.
As far as just from I love it. I love it as a mobile game.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I love a mobile game I can put down. I like being able to play it, put it down, and then come at it 6 hours later and have my flaming guitar.
And I'll say this, it's pretty relaxing. You know what? I'm going to give it $4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. It could definitely use improvements. It's had server issues. It's the launch week,
that's,
though.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Like every mobile, and it's had launch issues because it's super popular.
And it didn't slow me down. Like, I was still at it, so...
The slowest thing for me that happens is when I'm trying to add 5 friends to help me in the Shovel Strike Quarry.
Yeah.
You have to get them individually. If they wanted to make an improvement to the game, because they totally listen to this podcast, they should let you just hit your entire friends list up at once.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
But I think the point of it is not to make it easy. Because I think they're trying to mine that cash out.
It's not, yeah, because they want the leaf bucks.
Gotta get those leaf tickets, baby. You know what? All this talking,
it's making me kind of thirsty.
It's making me kind of thirsty. We'll be right back. Well, I gotta say, I am adequately quenched. How about you?
I would say that my thirst has been satiated.
Yeah. And what did we have today, Jonathan?
Well, we are trying for our third final and the snack/beverage segment of this podcast.
Yes.
What came out this year was like the 1893 Pepsi. And they have multiple flavors. And I think the gimmick with it, or like the novelty of it, I should stop saying gimmick. Gimmick is a negative word. Novelty is a positive word. The novelty of the 1893 soda is that it's the sort of all natural, it's back to the roots. Back in 1893 when they invented soda, this is what it was made with.
Oh.
Which is, go ahead and read the ingredients on your can.
I got your carbonated water, sugar, caramel color.
Well, don't read the actual ingredients. Read the ingredients on like the fancy part that they want.
Okay.
They want you to think.
1893 from the makers of Pepsi Cola. You got boldly blended cola made with cola nut extract, grapefruit essence, sparkling water, and real sugar. And I should say, the flavor that I got was the citrus cola, which is infused with a little bit of grapefruit essence. And you just got the regular old...
I got the classic original cola, which doesn't have grapefruit in it at all. It's got the cola nut, it's got dark brown malt, and a touch of aromatic bitters.
Yes.
And you can really smell those.
They're not kidding when they say aromatic. There's aromatics in both of these, and when you pour it into a glass, that's the first thing that hits you. You get like a big smack of like fragrance, which is really cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely smelling this soda. We both are sticking cans up to our noses and inhaling.
Yeah, we're soda sommeliers.
We're like a couple of degenerate drug users. That's us.
Yeah, and I don't partake in any drugs, but I am, I have a crazy addiction to soda. Like, I drink a lot of diet soda. Somehow better. It's not really. It's still you're still drinking like a cocktail of chemicals. It might stave off the diabetes, but it's still pretty bad for you. I
mean, in that case, you're just saying that sugar is the worst drug.
Oh, it's probably is. Probably accounts for more death than all the other drugs. I'm not even joking. That's probably...
Yeah, there's just not a aspartame lobby.
No. I'll say this. I'm used to diet soda, so the first time I tried it, it was like, I my mouth didn't know what to do with the flavor in it. Like, it's like,
oh, my gentleman's sensibilities.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't know how to
like,
handle.
Oh, Lord of me, I do believe this soda's too spicy for me.
Everybody talked like that in 1893, right?
They did.
We're not being offensive.
I don't care. They're dead. You can't write a letter when you're dead. But it was delicious. It was funny. The first sip of my grapefruit soda, or the citrus cola, I should say, my body, again, I was confused. My tongue was like, what? And then I poured it again. I was like, I got to give it a second chance. It was delicious. I love grapefruit. I love grapefruit essence. I like it when you have a beverage and it's not just a smack of sweet. I like different characteristics, whether it's sour or tart or, in this case, aromatic and a little bit bitter. I like it a lot. I don't know if I'm going to buy it again. It's $1.69.
Yeah, it's definitely a premium soda. And like you can tell that just from the way it's marketed. I mean, there wasn't a larger section of the cans in the store. It's very simplistic design. It's very retro, very 1893.
I do like the design.
Call it. I do, but it feels like something that you'd have every once in a while as like a treat.
Sure.
It feels like something you'd pour over ice and drink on like the porch over like a 10-hour day, just sitting watching the tumbleweeds roll by. I don't know what whiskey drinkers
maybe
do.
listening to a fiddle. Like maybe the devil comes up and he challenges you to a fiddle fight.
Yeah, it's not like you are guzzling this down with your burger at
unless you're having like a fancy
Wendy's.
burger, like a a sit down restaurant.
Yeah, this feels like a high class beverage.
Yeah. And some people don't like that. Some people, when they drink a soda, they want it to taste like chemicals. Again, my body didn't know what to do with it on the first sip, but I do like both flavors. I do narrowly like my flavor a little bit more. I know you said you didn't really care for mine.
I definitely prefer the original cola to the citrus cola. Normally, I mean, I like a Fresca.
Yeah.
But that, if I want like to spend a little more to get the premium soda, that's not what I'm looking for. And I know they have a couple other flavors of 1893 soda.
Yeah, I think they have a ginger one, and I think they have a black currant one. I've had the black currant one. It's also pretty tasty. What you said, by the way, is pretty apt. This does have like a Fresca feel to it. Like if someone mixed Pepsi and Fresca, but this probably comes out a little bit better than what I just mentioned.
Yeah.
And it's got real sugar as opposed to corn syrup.
Which, I mean, I don't know if you ever had the Pepsi throwbacks.
Oh, I think I missed it.
Or if you ever have Pepsi from your...
Oh yeah, but I'm
the country of your ancestors.
I'm a big fan of Mexican sodas. I've been drinking those all my life.
And so those have cane sugar in them, right?
Yeah.
So, as far as me, I hardly ever have soda with actual sugar in it. Up here in the great old USA, we're all about corn syrup.
It did have, I think we both agree, it has like almost like a clean taste. Like it does taste kind of like it's got a nice finish. It's not like drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper where
I feel like I should put on a top hat or stroke a cat. Like a nice cat.
We can't go too far down these things. It's gonna get grisly.
I feel like after drinking this, I should threaten an MI6 agent.
You're gonna threaten what?
An MI6 agent?
Oh, whoa. Okay. Like a James Bond.
That's the backwards way of saying I feel like a Bond villain.
Okay, sure. Yeah, this is like the kind of beverage like a Bond. Although I would think that a Bond villain would have Mountain Dew as a case because they're evil and that's an evil beverage.
How dare you? Mountain Dew's made by Pepsi.
So what? They have a lot of things. California is part of the United States. So is Texas. You can be
so is Florida.
You can be Florida. That's a better example. Sorry to any listeners in Florida.
No, not sorry to any listeners in Florida. What are you doing?
They probably understand it more than
what
we
are
do.
You
they
doing?
probably understand it more than we do.
Look, they're commenting right now. Hard agree.
Yeah. What are we gonna rate this as?
What are we gonna rate it out of?
That's what I mean.
Oh.
I know who invented Coca-Cola. I don't know who invented Pepsi Cola.
Was it a guy named Brad?
It is now. We're gonna rate this in Brad's.
No. I feel like I remember reading this because we actually have been trying to find the soda for a couple episodes.
Yeah.
You might recall a couple snacks were a little phoned in.
Yeah.
And that was because they were what we found in the store as an alternative.
Yeah, in a last-minute panic. Okay. Oh, no. John Pemberton is the guy that invented Coca-Cola, by the way.
John Pemberton?
Yeah. Brad. I just like it's a guy named Brad. Brad, no last name. Because it's 1893, and Brad doesn't seem like a name that is older than like 50 years. Like,
well, I looked
Brad...
up Pepsi 1893. It was Caleb Bradham, and they called it like Brad's drink. Like, yeah. Let me drop some Wikipedia on you right now, co-host, because it is about to get wild.
How much better a world would we be living in right now if Pepsi was known as Brad's drink?
I say that we start calling it Brad's drink.
Let's
right
start a
now.
movement to call it Brad's drink.
So you mentioned earlier that it tastes a little bit like medicine.
Yeah, it's got like, a lot of times in the olden days, soda was marketed as medicine because it had all these things in it, like aromatics and bitters and all these things. And people were like, oh, it's healthy. It wasn't. It wasn't. It's diabetes medicine, or it's diabetes fuel. But...
So my boy Caleb Bradham graduated and attended school at the University of Maryland School of Medicine.
Sure.
I said school of twice, but the University of Maryland School of Medicine. He dropped out and went to opened a drugstore company.
I'm gonna make a drink
called the Bradham Drug Company.
Brad's drink.
That also housed a soda fountain.
Okay.
Which was the style at the time.
Yeah.
It literally says that, which was the style at the time. It doesn't.
He strapped on his onion belt. He slapped 2 bumblebees on the counter and said, I want a drink.
When he made from cola nuts, vanilla, and quote-unquote rare oils, he made what was initially known as Brad's drink.
Oh my god.
But then they renamed it Pepsi Cola in 1898. After a combination of pepsin and cola.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So, literally, Pepsi...
Okay. We're still going to rate this in Brad's.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give I'll rate the grapefruit. You rate the regular one.
Okay.
I'm rating my grapefruit cola essence. It is delicious. I don't like drinking my calories, though. So I probably won't go back to it, but if I did drink my calories, I would go back to it. So I'm gonna give it 4 Brads out of 5.
I'm gonna go 4.5 Brads out of 5. If I were to go and have like a fancy thing with like soda,
sure,
and I needed like a premium soda,
people like
to impress my high end, like if I needed to impress like Wall Street executives or something. This is what I would serve them.
I'm a hardworking son of toil, so if I'm with a Wall Street executive, I'm gonna stab him in his hand with a fork. But
look, you gotta keep him distracted and refreshed, so you can get around to that side of them.
Okay. There's an old Seinfeld episode where George Costanza wants to show up to a party with Pepsi. They're like, "That's trashy. You got to bring wine," and he says, if I bring Pepsi, I'm going to be hailed as a hero. Because it's true. Pepsi tastes way better than wine. And I think this is like a fun middle ground. Like, it's a fancy Pepsi.
Yeah.
So, I think maybe don't show up to your dinner party with a 2-liter of Pepsi. But maybe show up with like a 6-pack of these babies. Because
you could drink it out of a fancy glass.
And like wine, it's aromatic. You sniff it first.
Mm-hmm.
It's
you can have some fun with it.
Yeah. So definitely,
and you don't have to, if you're drinking wine, you got to be 21 and over. You got to have a fancy rich people party with people younger than 21. Yeah, if you were so inclined to hang out with those type of people.
Yeah. That's it for this episode. I'm glad that you joined us again. I hope that you will, if you haven't already, subscribe on iTunes or on Google Play and hit us up, send us a comment. Give us a review, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, find us on Twitter. Hit us up on the email, gameandgrubpod@gmail.com.
Yes, and don't forget to keep
your
games
and playing food
games.
Yeah.